We're here with Dan Bongino to talk about this horrific attempt on former President Donald Trump's life on Saturday. Dan, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure. Like I said, my wife Paula said, you better do the Daily Six. She would not. She forbid me from leaving the building until I did this. And of course, I love you guys.
Oh, we really like Paula, and
so
we're grateful that
I
you
married her, yeah.
and we're happy that you're staying with us, even though you didn't have lunch yet.
Yeah.
Really quickly, so we just want to get your take on Saturday. We know you have a very unique perspective on this,
Yes.
given your own experience in the Secret Service. What went wrong there, and are we missing something?
There's so many things that went wrong that we have to triage this into a few simple questions, or honestly, we could be here all day. Why was there no spotter? Why was there no post stander down there? Why didn't they secure the air conditioning unit that this guy obviously at this point looks like he leapt on to get onto the building? Why wasn't there a post stander there? But if I had to pin it down to a couple of simple questions, and I've said this to members of Congress, I had Jim Jordan on my radio show and podcast, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I said, I'm begging you, during this congressional hearing, no filibustering, no nonsense, no campaign websites. Get right to the point. Number one, they spotted this guy acting suspiciously, making furtive movements and things like that, 26 minutes before the shots rang out. So let's lowball it. Assume that's 20 minutes before Trump starts making President Trump his way onto the stage. Why was President Trump allowed on the stage? I mean, as a former Secret Service agent, I've got an active open threat I can't locate. So they knew about it 20 minutes before. Apparently, from what I'm hearing from sources, he had disappeared in and out of these buildings, so they couldn't find him. Okay, assume threats happen, right? I mean, even the best security plans, you can get threats at times. I've been with them. I mean, I had a guy in a hotel room one time in Indonesia acting funny, and I said, you're going to have to delay the president landing. We found what it was, and then he landed on time. It was no problem. Why was he allowed to walk on stage? I mean, you don't need to be a former Secret Service agent like me to say, wait, so you knew there was a threat there for 26 minutes and you still let him walk on stage anyway and get shot? I don't understand. Like, why not just delay the speech? I mean, Joe Biden's late on speeches all the time. The networks will wait. You couldn't wait 5-10 minutes? We have a holding room at every single site. The holding room, you know why it's called the holding room? This is very scientific. Because we hold you there if something goes bad.
Right.
That's literally why it's called the holding room. Why wasn't it used? That's question one. Why was he even on stage? The second question, the failed Secret Service director, Kim Cheadle, who has been an abomination for this agency right now, just put out today, I was just talking to Mike Davis, I think you saw, as one of the great commentators, love Mike. And Mike's asking some of the same questions you are, because no one can fathom the stupidity here. Kim Cheadle put out a statement that we didn't have a counter-sniper team on that roof because of the slope of the roof. Well, the shooter didn't seem to have any problem with the slope of the roof. Even accepting that the idiocracy of that story, how stupid it is, why then did you allow him a clean line of sight? I'll give you a quick story I told on my radio show today. You can't mitigate everything. They could have got someone on that roof and they didn't. But say they really couldn't have. It's unstable or whatever. Okay, fine. Accepting this ridiculous story. I did a site once at Hofstra University for Hillary Clinton when she was the first lady. There was a really troubling line of sight issue. We were short on assets. There was a dorm building looking in through the window. Someone could have popped the shot off. We didn't have an asset to get up there. So you know what I did? I had them go to a hardware store. And you know the fake snow? I said, I want you to fake snow spray paint all of those windows. So at least the shooter can't see.
Wow.
It would be a random shot. We don't want it. But at least you're not going to be able to rangefinder. Wow. They couldn't even put a campaign banner and block the line of sight for the guy with the biggest footprint in the world. So again, why didn't they block the line of sight? And second, why was he on the X anyway? The X is what we call in the Secret Service where the protectee is standing. If you're in a limo and a limo gets hit, the golden rule is you get him off the X.
Right.
Why was he even on the X? Cover, evacuate, or don't even bring him to the stage. There is no excuse for this. There should be mass resignations. People should be criminally investigated for what happened here.
So can the FBI actually investigate this? Do you trust them to do that?
No, do I trust the FBI? That's like asking an alcoholic if you trust Jose Cuervo. Like, no, I absolutely don't. I want to say I hope they prove me wrong. I'm also a realist, and I realize the FBI has some decent people. I worked with them. The management right now is an abomination. And what I'm afraid of is even if you get a bunch of good rank-and-file investigators who find out something serious, I don't know what that is or could be. I don't put out stuff I can't back up, that I don't trust Christopher Wray to tell people the truth. I just don't. I mean, if the guy had a Moms for Liberty hat on, then yeah, you'd get. Believe me, they'd have every story right now. The guy's parents would be in the gulag. But no, I don't. I hope they prove me wrong. However, I don't say things I can't back up, and until they, I see some evidence that they're hiding stuff, I'll reserve opinion. But their track record, I mean, can we just be honest, is from horrible to atrocious. And
I know you don't say things you can't back up, but in this scenario, based on what you know, do you feel like there's something going on here that, we've heard speculation that this was an inside job, that, there were other people involved?
Listen, opinions are like the holes, right? Everybody's got one. Until I can back it up, I don't even want to speculate. But I will say it is an oddity. I mean, I guess saying it's an oddity is an opinion, but it's opinion based on fact. He has no social media profile now in 2024.
20-year-old?
I mean, wouldn't you think that was weird? Like, you didn't. I think the neighbors would be like, "Oh, this guy's strange. He doesn't have a social media profile." So I find that odd. But again, I doubt inside jobs because there are so many people that have to be read in on that plan. And it's just there's always a leaker. But I don't discount anything. Listen, after Spygate and Russia collusion, it'd be irresponsible for me to do the opposite too and go, oh, no, that didn't happen. Yeah. Well, what evidence do you have it didn't happen? I don't. So, we'll see. But I hope they prove me wrong.
And last question for you, because I know you need lunch. We've been seeing people float you as the next FBI director. Would you do it?
Would I do it? Only if President Trump personally wanted it. Oh, him, if he wanted it. I've never envisioned myself going back in government again, ever. Like, ever, ever, ever. I can't say that enough. Repeating decimal, right? But, there comes a time where I wouldn't even take a salary for this stuff. There comes a time where, your country matters more. And I never got in this stuff for the money or the glory or any crap like that. It just happened. And, it's just, I'm honored that people think that. But, I'm kind of flattered. If he called that, I'd have to consider anything.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. We're so grateful for your time.
Great to be with you again. See you.
Great.